Tell us why you choose to live in Canada.
Well, my brother was living here since 1927, and when I escaped Yugoslavia in 1947, I was looking to get a permission to come to Canada. It took a little while. Paul Martin was a Minister for External Affairs, and I guess at that time they find some room for the Serbian people to be permitted to come to Canada, and I was one of them.
Why Windsor?
My brother was living here and he had a business, so of course I came to him.
Tell us about your first experience in Canada or in Windsor.
Well, when I come in first, I was a little surprised with the style of housing and style of life, and it was considerably different than back in Yugoslavia. But I got adjusted very quickly, and now I wouldn't trade for anything.
Were you able to speak English?
No, I couldn't speak a word of English when I came here. I spoke my own language in Italian, a bit of Russian and so on.
Did you go to some school to learn, or?
I have taken night course at school in Windsor, and it was a course that we paid ourselves for, and it was very good.
Tell us about your first job or first restaurant you worked with.
Well, my brother owned the place, and I started working for him, and immediately he put me to work behind the bar to wash the glasses and take care of the bar. So that went on for about 3 months. I have learned English in a period of 3 months, enough to communicate. And right after that, I became a manager of the Metropole Soccer Club.
Metropole?
Metropole Soccer Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you start your own restaurant?
Well, I was looking for a future for my family and myself. Working for my brother, like anybody else, I was just getting weekly wages, and that was the extent. In order to improve the future for me and myself, I decided to go into business.
Tell us the story behind starting Top Hat.
Well, first of all, I'll tell you the story how this came about. Your new home much easier than getting 100 presents and putting them in a corner of the apartment or whatever. So when I received the money, with that money I bought a service station in City Windsor, and I operated a service station on a part-time. In essence, my wife operated. And after 7 years, we sold the service station for $25,000. We used that money and bought the place called Rossum's, which we changed the name to a Top Hat in 1959. And I knew immediately what I want to do. I renovated the place and made it suitable for the nightclub, supper club business. And in the beginning, it was extremely successful. And I carry on constantly improving this and that and whatnot, and here I am after 35 years.
Tell us, why did you name Top Hat?
Well, I have gone through a variety of the names in our industry, and Top Hat was a catchy name for me because I thought it'd be much easier to market it as a Top Hat than any other name. That was number one. Number two was the Top Hat with the image of the Top Hat was giving me a desire to build a place to be a #1 place in community. I tried, I came close to that, but maybe not right up on top, but very close to it, and I'm very pleased about.
Okay. We heard that you are the founder of buffet-style dinner. We like to hear about it.
Yes, I started, I'm not sure precise year, but I believe 53 or 54, I started at the Metropole Smorgasbord. It was a sort of a place where the people used to come from work, and working people and so on, and there was too many problems dealing with the drinking people, and they were getting in fights and so on, and that didn't suit me. So I thought change and give more attention to the food. And when we changed, we found that there was no any more blue-collar business, and there was no white-collar business either. So it was sort of a struggle for 6-7 months until I came across the idea to start the smorgasbord. And I thought the word all you can eat was appealing to the people. And before I know, in a period of 3 months, if you didn't have no reservation, you couldn't even grin on Monday. It was so successful, but was also very reasonable. So that has put us back on a track, and we become very successful. I also have opened up the brunch in the city here at the top. I was the first one when nobody ever thought about, and I carried on for several years. And then I found out that brunch was getting out of hand cost-wise, so I simply discontinued. And I also opened up the outdoor cafe as a first one in the city before anybody ever thought about. I had a problem with city government, and we won our battle, but we didn't carry it out for too long because we had the tunnel exhaust building across the street, which blows the dust from the, taking it from the tunnel outside on the street and outside on our tables. So when you put a tablecloth on, in a period of 15 minutes, it's all covered with suds. So we decided to discontinue it.
You have brought a lot of entertainment to the restaurant. Tell us about that.
Well, entertainment, I started at the Metropole, and when I came here, I have continued with entertainment. I first produced my own show called the Tamburitsans, and there was music around the world, and I operated with that show for about 5 consecutive years, and the show was very much success in this community. And after 5 years, things started sliding down, and then I decided to bring in the name people. And one of the first people was Teresa Brewer that came, and we had a real great success with her. And from there on was hundreds of them that came through.
Are you most proud of what you did and what you accomplished?
Well, I'm pleased to a degree. Unfortunately, style of life has changed considerably, and the business that I'm trying to promote and do is in jeopardy with perhaps new things that are on the market, namely the places that have stripping, female stripping and male stripping, and this real rock and roll business which can't be used in this room where the people come down to enjoy the meal. So we still try to maintain the old style of the business, but I'm losing the young generation. I'm not gaining them, and the old generation is disappearing. So we're fighting the battle now and trying to find a way how to radiate the business. Now we have a group here called Intrigue, which is a young people, and they do in shows and dancing that appeals to young generation and old generation. And I figure if I keep finding the people of that nature, that will again regain their own business image and perhaps increase of business.
Who is the difficult person or people whom to deal with?
Well, I'm that kind of a person that more or less get along with everybody. There is one or two that have gone through that were a little difficult, but we survived.
You have accomplished a lot, and we would like to hear from you your accomplishment to the Canadian community.
Well, in order to accomplish anything, you have to sacrifice your own time. If you are going to, per se, work just 6 or 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, or things like that, you'll have a difficult time to accomplish. I would say that I worked practically double shift throughout my life.
What about all those plaques outside we have seen?
Well, back home we say when you roam, you do what the Romans do, and I decided to join the Canadian organizations, and first my trade organization was a hotel and restaurant industry, and joined, and before I know I was a president, I believe 1962 and 63 for 2 years. Then I also became president of the Tavern Association at one time because I was also part of the tavern business. Then I became provincial president for the Ontario for the Restaurant and Hotel Association. And then 1972 and 1973 I was a national president for Canadian Restaurant Association of Canada. It took me about 4 months to travel across the country from one coast to another. I would never trade it for anything. I have seen Canada. There isn't a city that's perhaps less than 30,000 people that I didn't see. I was everywhere and anywhere. I enjoyed Whitehorse, Yukon very much. I was there for 3 days and it was beautiful.
I saw some music award there. What's your involvement?
Well, music was given to me by the local musician union because I've been using local musicians for 35 years. And of course, I never experienced any difficulties with them either. So it was a good relationship between me and the musicians and the union. So they seen fit to present that to me. Of course, you might see some other thing there. I played in a Shrine Oriental band myself. I played horn for 25 years, and I participate in every parade in City Windsor for all those years. Now I'm sort of retired from it, but I still belong there.
Is that the same Kawana Club?
No, Kiwanis Club, it's another organization. They are association that takes care of the underprivileged children. And I've been involved there for 15 years or more. and I've been president. This is my third term as a president. And we put through our camp that we have on a lake by Harrow, between 300 and 400 kids annually. And cost of this is constantly growing up every year. It used to be a $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Now it's 110, 120. We raise those money through various means, selling a Kiwanis good paper, holding social events, and have different programs throughout the year that we raise funds. We also sponsored the music festival in City Windsor. And this year we have 1,600 people, 1,600, namely children, that are participating in music contest, and Tom Weir is our chairman, and I was involved in to organize it to start with.
Okay, what about the Serbian community, your involvement, contributions?
Well, at one given time, I was vice president of the Serbian church. At the time that we had a split amongst our Serbian community, and it really was heartbreaking. I wasn't looking to have a split. I tried my utmost to not to get involved, but I lived 2.5 years under communism in Belgrade, and I knew what the communism was doing over there with the people in the church. Now we have changed a couple of patriarchs that died in a jail of the communist regime, and finally they have found a man and promoted to a patriarch themselves. And then first thing he did when he became patriarch, he fired the bishop in the United States who was in charge of Canada too. And problems started because they were going to tell us over there what to do, and we weren't ready to take the Sunday school by the communist style of education. Of course, we resisted and we split it, and ever since I've never been a member of any church. I do go to the church, but I'm not a member, and for very reason. Now, after all these years, since 1963 that we split, it's the first time this year that they are back together, because the communism fell in Yugoslavia, and now the church has the freedom to do what they're pleased. So I'm not sure how long it will take that all these things are gonna heal and get to work together, and I'm not sort of in a position to make that statement, but I think that eventually everything is going to be as it used to be before. It is going to take a leadership to do that job, to get the people together. This was the most unfortunate thing for the Serbian people in the North America, because there is a lot of people that came down here later on in 50s and 60s, direct from Yugoslavia here, to promote the communism, members of the parties, and they were doing secretly variety things in our community. And this is a free world. Anybody can do whatever they like to. And we couldn't do anything about it. Some of us stayed away, pulled away from the organization because it was infiltrated by the communism.
So now you're a Canadian.
I am Canadian. I practice Canadian style of life. I am, as I said, member of the Kiwanis Club, member of the Goodfellows Club, member of the Canadian Restaurant Association, member of the Masonic and Shrine Organization, City of Windsor, and I more or less been leader in all of this organization myself.
Okay. Now tell us about your family.
Well, we have, my wife and myself have 4 boys, and 2 of them are here in the business with me. One is a master ceremony and a musician and a band leader in the club. The other boy is in charge of the bar and kitchen, and he has a political science course as a VERONICA have. And the other 2 boys, one is a biochemist, science engineer. He works in a research department for DuPont Corporation in Kingston, Ontario. He's married and has 2 kids, 2 lovely kids. The other boy, Michael, is university graduate too, and he's gone into a real estate business. He's also married and has 2 lovely kids. The other 2 boys stay with me. They don't have time to get married.
What does your wife do? I heard she's a sculpturist.
My wife, she's an artist, and she's got a degree in sculpturing. She's got a master's degree in sculpturing. She made a sculpture of one of the boys here in the lobby that you can see. And but she's not practicing that anymore. She does just something for herself from time to time. She made a statue for our neighbor lady, and she made a statue for a few other people and so on. But she doesn't do, she's namely house lady. She likes to work in a garden and